Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It's Wednesday morning. I'm feeling rather lethargic. That's a nice $2 word, isn't it? I'm tired, y'all. How about that? Um, it's Wednesday. It's April 29th. It's 3:48 in the a.m. Maybe that's why I'm tired, man. It's early in the damn morning. Um, I just watched a video and I just reposted it to my TikTok. A gentleman whose screen name is Tizzy Ent, E-N-T, uh, posted a video. Teenage girl walking down the street. Young man approaches her, asks for her phone number. She's not interested, and she opted not to give it to him. He promptly picks her up, body slams her on the concrete, and then stomps on her head. One of his buddies filmed the whole thing, and you could hear him snickering in the background. Now, when he asked for the phone number, and she politely said no, as he was blocking her progress, he said, "I should slap the shit out of you, yo." And I just can't help but think, what kind of environment is this brother growing up in that he thinks this level of toxic masculinity is acceptable? And the individual that was snickering, we all have mothers. It's like, do you want that for your mother? Maybe you do. Then you need to look at your family dynamic. Do you want that for your sister? Maybe you do. Then you need to look at your family dynamic. I personally, is full disclosure, do not care for my brother. And we've had many a throwdown match. And I needed to look at my family dynamic. And I've often shared that I grew up in a house with horrific domestic violence. And I say that, and I share that because that kind of violence thrives in secrecy. That kind of violence is perpetuated because no one speaks up. That kind of violence is perpetuated because people become afraid to set boundaries. Now, my family dynamic was such that I shared that my father was more than a bit of a jerk. And if he wasn't starting a fight to leave the house to go do whatever he does or did, he would kind of pit my brother and I against one another in gladiator wars, is what I refer to them as. And because I grew up how I grew up and where I grew up, I made up my mind early on. I'm not going to be a victim to any kind of bullshit. And, oh yeah, we had some knockdown dragouts. And that set the stage and the dynamic for, I want to say, personality types and personality carryings on. And I'm pretty much cut and dry, definitive justice. Now, I know there's two types of justice. There's the justice of ethics, where you are very legalistic in, the letters of what's right and what's wrong. And then there's the ethics of care. And the ethics of care is what I like to subscribe to. I can't fault somebody if they stole medication that they needed. See, there's a line that allows certain things for the care and concern and the well-being of not only yourself but other people. And I drew the line there, and it's like, no, bruh. So, all that being said, one of the last conversations that I had with my brother, I think this was the last conversation actually, was I was upset because my mother was in a board and care in the late stages of her dementia, and her things were coming up missing. Now, they weren't major things. But my brother said to me, don't go make any waves, because you don't have any place to take her. Mind you, my brother was living with my mother and had lived with my mother for over 20 years. And during those 20 years, worked intermittently. I lived in a home setting where I had roommates because it's very expensive to live in the Bay Area. But I had a home. And at one point, I had my own apartment. And that is until I bought a car. And then for him to say, you don't have any place to take her while you're living in her house rent-free, and had been for over 20 years. And it's not like you were providing care. It was more the other way around. Then he sent the message, because I called him on it, F you. And my response to him, and I held firm and fast and continue to hold firm and fast, let those be the last words you speak to me. And I have not spoken to him since. No need to fuss, no need to fight, no need to argue. I set a boundary. And this is a lifetime of build-up, a lifetime of ebb and flow, a lifetime of this dysfunctional truce for the sake of my mother. I'm good. That type of mindset, like I said, is perpetuated by silence and the inability to set and maintain boundaries.